So, Jess, did you see that AIM?
I did.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Did you have one?
Did you use it?
It was the only way to communicate.
Exactly.
With your
It was kind of like
friends.
text message for millennials.
Yes.
Before,
Yeah.
Yep.
before text message.
I certainly did.
That was a way to communicate with like 10 people at once.
Yeah.
That was like
and I mean, it
revolutionary.
was really just like a command center. You had all these windows
Right.
open.
Would you ever do a thing where you would copy and paste other conversations to
Yes.
your friends?
Be efficient.
Yeah.
With your
Be
with your
efficient.
typing.
Away messages.
Away messages
That
were
was
those are
huge.
the most passive aggressive
Yep.
tools to ever
Yes,
use.
those were the first status updates.
Yeah.
The first Facebook posts
Yep.
really were coming
Song
from that.
lyrics. And you could save them. So you're like, how am I feeling today?
Yeah.
What's my away message right now?
Do you guys remember how there were
I keep turning
there were booter programs, they would call them? They
No.
basically you could get somebody kicked offline, so you would run this script and send it through Instant Messenger, and it would just like message them like boom 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 boom
Oh,
boom.
yeah, I
and
think
it would
I
send them
remember
so
that.
many messages, it would just kick them offline. And so a lot of people would just make
I've
Instant
never heard of
Messenger
this.
names with capital I's and lowercase L's, so you could like you didn't know, like you couldn't block them quick enough unless you copied and pasted their username and put it into the block. But by then you're kicked off. It was amazing. And then there used to always be that one thing too. It'd be like, hey, I found this cool thing. Like press Control Alt Delete to like figure this thing out, like to see this cool feature on AIM, and it would just log you out. They like play tricks on each other like that with hotkeys.
Nothing gave me more anxiety
Oh.
than being logged out. Especially
Yeah.
if I was like talking to a girl I had a crush
yeah.
on.
Oh man!
And it was
yeah.
like,
You're-
doo-doo-doo-doo. And you're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Then you had to dial back in.
Yeah. I'd be like, I hope
Panic.
she's still there. I hope she's still there. And the Pavlov's theory of the door opening and the door closing.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
When someone would come online, it'd be like,
Oh, yeah, that's
And I hope,
right.
yeah, there'd be always, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd always have like girls that have crushes on when they came on. I'd be like, get
Yes.
so excited.
Oh my God, heart racing.
Yeah.
would you get sweaty and hard when they.
I don't know how. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know
how hard I was, but I mean,
Who is your high school crush? Or were you in college? You're old.
I have to really quickly.
I'm not that old. It definitely was in high school when I was using it. Well, high school and college, but I think for like girl crushes, it was definitely in high school because I was still like.
Oh, yeah.
Finding my voice. I like could not talk to like anybody. So like AIM was like the way to talk to girls.
Yeah.
It conditioned all of us to be those to take on different personas
Yeah.
behind the computer screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could feel like you could say something. You're
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm going to send this now.
Yeah.
You're like,
You would draft it. It made you a really good. Like, I feel like I'm a better writer because of it.
oh, really?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
Have you
defi-
seen my emails? I've sent you a lot of emails. They're very well constructed. There's a lot of flavor to them.
You also went to college and are an adult.
I
hope
did
you can
go to
write
college.
now. Yeah, you're literate. You're also literate.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I have a very kind of embarrassing thing to tell you guys
can't
about
wait.
Instant Messenger. Oh God. Okay, the first time I ever drank alcohol
Uh-huh.
when I was an underage girl of 15, maybe in high school. My dad and my mom found out, and I got in big trouble. And the way that they found out, this
can't
is
wait.
horrible. My dad had installed a sort of spy service on my instant messenger.
No way.
That would
I didn't know that was a thing.
download a digest of all of my conversations and
my
send
God.
it to
That's
him.
a goddamn nightmare.
I mean,
You had no idea?
I had no idea.
Wait, when did you find out? After
I
the
found
drinking
out-
thing or later?
I found out by looking on our family computer, and like there were all these saved files of just like Word documents or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? I was looking for something, and I opened those, and I was like, oh my God, these are my conversations. And then it just all kind of came together. And
Then there was all these like pictures of boys that you liked in high school, and your dad was just throwing darts at them. Two
there, was
on the
there were
wall.
some JPEG files of that.
I'm speechless.
I'm terrified right now.
Yeah,
I'm
just
terrified.
fear.
Yeah.
Luckily, my parents were older, so they weren't that tech savvy.
I was
Yeah.
furious.
So
and
did you
ter- and
confront him?
terrified.
Did you
Yeah,
confront him
terrified.
about
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
And my dad
that
was
might cross a
basically like,
line.
I
I
don't
understand
give a
like
shit.
why you're like, but the thing was too back
Closer.
then, people parents would do crazy stuff like that because they were absolutely terrified about what was happening on the internet. Not that it necessarily justifies it, but people were definitely like, they wanted to like keep tabs, and it's like, sorry, you can't.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. Like, everybody's got to be able to close a door sometimes.
Mm-hmm. My dad doesn't give a shit about that. He's like, you live in my house.
Did he
I
only
pay
do it
for
to
everything.
you? Did he only do it to you or to everybody?
And I'm sure he did it to, well, Thomas.
No, he had
Laura
to do
was,
it to everybody,
Laura
right?
was too young. She wasn't using.
How did he have time? That's a lot. Like,
He makes time. He makes time for these kinds of things.